Everything is energy. Learn to use it right now. What if everything you touch, everything you feel, everything you think is alive? Not in the way you see with your eyes or touch with your hands, but alive in a deeper, quieter way. Pulsing, moving, responding. You already interact with it every moment. You just don't yet realize it. Imagine for a moment the air around you. It seems still, silent. Yet within it, invisible currents are flowing, carrying whispers of life, of thought, of intention. Each breath you take stirs them. Each step you make shifts them. Every feeling, every choice, every heartbeat creates a ripple through this vast, unseen web. Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, described this unseen energy not as something distant, mystical or separate, but as the living fabric of existence, a force that flows through you, around you, and through every moment of your day. He spoke of it as something you could learn to sense, to guide, to harmonize with, something that, once understood, could transform your life from the inside out. And yet most of us walk through this world blind. We bump into the currents unaware of the subtle power we are brushing against. We feel tension, struggle, fear. But what if these sensations were not obstacles, but signals? Messages from the energy that surrounds you, whispering guidance, showing the path toward balance, toward clarity, toward peace. Tonight, here, in this space, you will begin to notice it, to see it, to feel it, to learn, slowly and gently, how to move with it rather than against it. By the end of this journey, you will understand that nothing external can control you when you know how to connect with your own energy. You will discover the hidden threads of life that have always been beneath your awareness, waiting for you to recognize them. And the first step is simply noticing, feeling, breathing, being aware that energy is not somewhere out there. It is here, now, around you, within you, alive, waiting, inviting you to engage. Long before modern science measured energy, long before technology mapped invisible fields, there were those who could sense it, feel it, understand it. One of the most remarkable of these was Edgar Cayce. Known as America's sleeping prophet, Cayce left behind thousands of documented readings, each a window into the unseen world of energy, consciousness, and the soul. He described life not as isolated events, but as a web of subtle vibrations. Every thought you hold, every emotion you nurture, every breath you take, all contribute to the rhythm of your inner energy. Cayce's insights were not simply mystical speculation. They were observations, case studies, experiences recorded with extraordinary care. He spoke of energy fields surrounding the body, patterns that could indicate health, balance, or dissonance. He explained that the soul itself radiates a vibration, unique to each individual, reflecting not only who you are in this life, but echoes of who you have been before. And here is the extraordinary part. These fields are not just abstract concepts. You can sense them, you can influence them, you can attune to them. When you begin to notice the flow around you, when you practice gentle awareness, life itself begins to respond. The currents of energy that seem invisible suddenly feel alive, responsive, intimate. Cayce also described how harmonizing with your own energy can awaken a subtle guidance, a quiet internal compass. It can reveal paths that logic cannot see, decisions that feel aligned, and opportunities that resonate with your soul. Case after case, he observed that when people learned to align with their inner vibration, their health improved, their choices became clearer, and their sense of purpose deepened. You may not have experienced this yet. Perhaps it feels distant, elusive, but it is real. You are already a part of this energetic web. Every moment you feel tension, every time you sense joy or sorrow, your energy is speaking. And as you learn to listen, as you learn to tune, you begin to step into a new awareness, one that blends the scientific and the spiritual, the seen and the unseen. This is the authority of insight, anchored in experience and observation. And yet, what happens next is even more mysterious. For now, you're about to discover not only that energy surrounds you, but that you have always been capable of shaping it. Energy is not simply a force outside of you. It is subtle, omnipresent, responsive. It is the silent river flowing through every corner of your life, the invisible architecture upon which reality rests. Every thought you hold, every intention you set, every feeling you nurture sends ripples into this vast, living web. You may not see it, but it is there. You may not hear it, but it responds, and it is not random. Energy obeys patterns. It moves in sequences, in rhythms, in a language that your soul already knows, but one you may have forgotten. Consider the divine sequence as Cayce and other spiritual visionaries described it. First comes thought, a simple spark of awareness, a flicker of curiosity, a whisper of desire. Then comes intention, when your mind and heart align, forming a directive, a subtle instruction for life to follow. From intention emerges resonance, the vibration that your energy radiates into the world. And finally, manifestation, the reflection of your inner pattern in the outer world. Thought becomes form. Energy becomes experience. This sequence is not mystical guesswork. It is the rhythm of creation itself, and it is available to you here and now. But there is a condition. You must recognize it. You must notice the patterns. You must cultivate awareness. Without this, the energy flows, but it is like wind through the trees, unheeded, unseen, unnoticed. In the coming moments, you will begin a stepwise exploration. First, awareness. Learning to feel, to notice, to perceive the currents of energy surrounding you. Then attunement, discovering how to harmonize your own vibration with the subtle waves around you. Finally, practical application. Understanding how to move in accordance with these patterns, gently shaping your life from the inside out. And yet, there is mystery here. Energy is responsive, yes, but only to the consciousness that recognizes it. It waits silently, invisible, for the mind and heart that are ready to engage. For the soul that remembers it has always been capable. You may feel a sense of anticipation, perhaps even a gentle tension, as though something just beyond your perception is stirring. This is the invitation, the first gentle pulse of the unseen world, calling you to step closer, to feel more deeply, to awaken to the energy that has always been yours. And now, as you begin to sense this subtle current, the journey unfolds further. Now the first step of your journey begins, not in the world outside, but within. You are invited to notice, to feel, to awaken to the presence of energy that has always surrounded you. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe slowly, deliberately. Allow your awareness to settle into your body. Notice the points of contact. Your feet against the floor, your hands resting in your lap, the rise and fall of your chest with each breath. Feel the subtle pulse of life moving through you. Not just your heartbeat, but the quiet hum of energy flowing along invisible channels. You may sense warmth tingling, a faint vibration. Perhaps you feel nothing at all, and that is perfectly fine. Sensitivity varies from person to person. Some feel it instantly, others will take time. There is no failure here, only observation, only awareness. Now turn your attention outward. Notice the room around you. The air carries a subtle weight. The light creates a gentle resonance on your skin. Perhaps an object nearby seems to draw your attention, or a feeling arises unexpectedly, soft, fleeting, almost imperceptible. These are whispers from the energy field, hints of its constant motion. And yet you may also encounter discomfort, a sense of heaviness, restlessness, or tension. Reframe it. This is not resistance. It is initiation, a gentle challenge, a reminder that awareness sometimes stirs the hidden layers of your being. You are sovereign. You choose how to respond. You do not need to force, manipulate, or judge what you feel. Simply observe. Simply notice. Try this small test. Place one hand over your heart and one hand slightly above your head. Close your eyes. Breathe. Gently shift your focus from your body to the space between your hands. You may perceive warmth, pressure, or a subtle shift, a subtle current connecting these points. Some may feel a faint tingling or a slight energy pull. Others may notice only imagination. And that is the beginning. It is enough. This is phase 1, awareness awakening. Feeling the threshold. Recognizing that energy is present, not theoretical, not distant, but intimately woven through your body, your emotions, your environment. Patience is your ally. Curiosity is your guide. And as you continue, your sensitivity will grow. Each observation, each breath, each moment of stillness draws you closer to a deeper understanding, and what comes next is even more profound. The currents you feel are not static. They are alive, moving, interacting, and in the next phase, you will begin to witness energy in motion. As your awareness deepens, subtle currents begin to reveal themselves more clearly. Energy is no longer a vague sensation. It begins to speak, to reflect, to show you patterns you may have overlooked. You may notice moments of tension, friction, or discomfort. Perhaps an argument lingers in your mind. Perhaps a recurring emotion surfaces without warning. Perhaps a relationship begins to feel heavier, more strained, as though the world around you is holding up a mirror. These are the mirrors of the energy field. They are not punishment. They are not judgment. They are reflections of the vibrations you have carried, sometimes for years, sometimes for lifetimes. And they are exquisitely honest, showing what has been hidden beneath routine, distraction, or avoidance. Imagine looking into a calm pool of water. The surface is smooth, yet every stone beneath creates a ripple. What appears chaotic may contain hidden guidance. Each reflection, each echo of emotion, is an invitation to examine your own energetic habits. Begin slowly. Observe without blame. Ask yourself, what thought patterns recur? What emotional currents pull me again and again? Where does my energy feel scattered, constrained, or misaligned? And notice, this is not about criticism. It is about recognition, a gentle acknowledgement of what is, so that change may begin. Some reflections may feel uncomfortable. Some may stir sadness, regret, or fear. Hold them lightly. Breath by breath, allow yourself to notice without absorbing. Each moment of discomfort is an initiation, a teacher guiding you towards subtle mastery. Step by step, you can evaluate your energy. Notice how it interacts with others, how it responds to circumstances, how it shifts when you breathe, when you pause, when you simply observe. Over time, these reflections become clarity. They illuminate patterns that were once invisible. And the remarkable truth is this: what appears chaotic, what feels tangled or heavy, is never random. Energy speaks in riddles, in echoes, in reflections, guiding you toward awareness. The mirrors are not obstacles, they are signposts. And if you learn to read them, you will begin to see that even tension, even friction, carries a hidden wisdom. As you step through this first passage, you begin to recognize the dance of energy within and around you. You are becoming a witness, a student, a traveler in your own subtle world. And beyond this, a deeper passage awaits, where the currents of energy are no longer just mirrors, but forces you can move with and move through. As you move deeper into the awareness of energy, the subtle guidance around you begins to emerge. You may not see it with your eyes, but you feel it. A quiet nudge, a gentle pull, a whisper carried on the currents of consciousness. These are your invisible helpers, guides that may take many forms: intuition that speaks softly before a decision, a sudden insight that lights a path through uncertainty, or synchronicities that appear almost too perfectly to be chance. You may notice that certain people, places, or events arrive at just the right moment, steering you without force, without explanation. Consider a moment when you felt a strong protective instinct, an urge to pause, to look closer, to wait. Or a time when an idea or answer appeared suddenly, as if from nowhere. Cayce often described these subtle signals as the soul's conversation with the self. Messages that travel along the energy currents, seeking alignment with your consciousness, and yet these helpers are delicate. They are easy to miss. A fleeting thought, a brief sense of knowing, a small sign in your surroundings, all can be overlooked if your mind is distracted, if your heart is closed. Receptivity is key. Awareness is the bridge. You must be present, patient, willing to notice without forcing. Let us try this together. Take a slow breath. Close your eyes if you wish. Recall a recent moment when you were unsure of what to do. Feel the energy in that memory, the tension, the doubt, the hesitation. Now gently shift your focus. Imagine a small, guiding light appearing, a sign, a thought, a gentle pull toward clarity. Maybe subtle, faint, almost imperceptible, and yet it is there, waiting for your attention, waiting for your choice. You may feel a sense of wonder, of protection, of quiet reassurance, perhaps a shiver, a warmth, a tingling. These are the signals of alignment. The world is responding to your consciousness, and these invisible helpers are the first responders, guiding without interference, offering wisdom without demand. And so, as you move through life, begin to notice. Pay attention to the nudges, the coincidences, the quiet instincts. Some may seem trivial, some may feel profound. All carry meaning, all contain guidance. What you do next matters. Awareness opens the doorway. Receptivity invites clarity. And beyond this, the currents of energy are ready to take you further, toward deeper attunement, toward a conscious dance with life itself, where your choices are informed, guided, and enriched by the intelligence of the invisible. As your awareness deepens, you arrive at a place of quiet reflection, a sacred space within yourself. You might imagine it as a temple, a library, or a vault of light, a repository of wisdom that contains not judgment but clarity. Some call it the Akashic records, others simply the memory of the soul. Here, every thought, every choice, every intention leaves its trace. And yet, this is not a place of shame. It is a place of learning. Mistakes are not failures. They are lessons in energy. Each misstep, each moment of resistance, each lapse in awareness leaves a subtle imprint, a guidepost for the future. Edgar Cayce spoke often of this inner archive, explaining that the soul's journey is written across time, accessible through quiet meditation, reflection, or journaling. Take a moment. Close your eyes. Breathe. Imagine yourself stepping into this temple of records. You're surrounded by shelves, scrolls, and luminous pages, each one representing a moment in your life's energetic unfolding. Perhaps you see patterns forming, times when your energy aligned effortlessly, and times when it tangled, scattered, or resisted. Here, repetition is your teacher, reflection is your guide. As you review the patterns, you begin to notice cause and effect in a subtle, gentle way. Perhaps a recurring tension in a relationship mirrors a habitual thought pattern. Perhaps a sense of stagnation in your work reflects energy that was misdirected or unacknowledged. And in each observation there is no blame, only insight, only clarity. Cayce shared stories of individuals who accessed this inner knowledge not to dwell on error, but to awaken to potential. One person, struggling with recurring health and relational challenges, learned to trace the energetic origins of each difficulty. Through meditation and reflective journaling, she saw patterns, made small shifts, and discovered that the very energy that once caused friction could, when understood, become a source of balance and alignment. The Temple of Records is always available. You may visit it in silence, in breath, in movement, or through simple reflection. Its wisdom is patient, its guidance is gentle, and with time, the repetitions of observation reveal a map, a rhythm of your own energy, a path of mastery that moves from chaos into harmony. This is Phase 4, a learning ground, a sanctuary of insight, and as you leave its quiet halls, you carry forward not only understanding, but the confidence to act, to attune, and to step into the next phase where energy moves with you as a living, responsive companion, guiding your every intention and choice. As your awareness unfolds, a larger picture begins to emerge. The energy you sense is not isolated, it is woven into a vast living web. Every thought, every choice, every intention connects to threads that stretch beyond this moment, reaching backward into your past and forward into potential futures. Consider your life as a tapestry, each experience a single thread. Some are bright and luminous, full of joy and flow. Others are darker, carrying tension, pain, or resistance. And yet, all are connected. Nothing exists in isolation. Relationships, habits, and choices echo along these threads, forming patterns that shape the course of your journey. This is pattern memory, the record of energy flowing, accumulating, interacting. Cayce often described it as the soul's continuous record, a flowing matrix of cause and effect, where past influences meet present actions, and future outcomes are quietly sculpted by your attention and alignment. Notice, without judgment, the recurring themes in your life. Perhaps certain challenges appear again and again. Perhaps opportunities arise in familiar forms. These are not coincidences, they are energetic echoes waiting for recognition. They hold both warning and blessing, risk and potential, depending on your awareness and response. Imagine standing in a forest of countless intertwining branches. Each branch represents a choice, a relationship, a habitual thought. Some support you, some obstruct. Some seem invisible until you move in a certain direction. As you observe, you begin to recognize patterns, how certain choices lead to tension, how certain actions lead to flow. Here lies the opportunity. Awareness of these threads allows you to step into alignment. You may begin to shift habitual energy, break cycles, and cultivate resonance with what serves your highest good. What once seemed inevitable, frustration, conflict, stagnation, can now be transformed through conscious attention. And yet there is a subtle suspense in this realization. These threads are not always obvious. Unseen influences may linger, shaping outcomes in ways you cannot yet perceive. Patience and observation are required. The web is intricate, alive, responsive. Your role is not to control it, but to harmonize with it, to recognize the flow and move with intention. As you dwell in this awareness, the interconnection of all things becomes apparent. You see that energy is cumulative, responsive, alive. And as you continue your journey, the next phase awaits, the space where alignment becomes mastery, where intention and flow converge, and where your interaction with energy becomes conscious, deliberate, and transformative. As you reach this phase, the journey becomes distinctly yours. Awareness and understanding have opened doors. The currents of energy no longer merely surround you, they respond to your intention. Every thought, every choice, every breath carries consequence. You are sovereign. You are the architect of your path. Consider the crossroads that energy presents, the return or the ascent, the familiar patterns or the higher alignment. Each choice carries its own resonance, subtle yet profound. Inaction is also a choice. To remain unconscious is to let currents carry you along reactive paths, leaving the wisdom of your awakening dormant. Conscious action, however, directs energy toward purpose, toward clarity, toward love. Take a moment to breathe deeply. Visualize yourself standing before two paths. One is worn, familiar, predictable. The other rises, illuminated by a quiet, luminous force, a path that calls you to align with your highest self. Feel the energy of each path, the vibrations beneath your feet, the pull in your chest, the subtle whisper of your intuition. This is choice architecture. It is the deliberate shaping of your journey. It begins with simple practices, setting intention, reinforcing boundaries, imagining outcomes, feeling the resonance of your decisions before acting. Cayce described the soul's journey as one of conscious participation, a series of vows and alignments made not in fear, but in love, with awareness of the greater currents at play. Love, in this framework, is the highest guiding force. It is the energy that harmonizes, that balances, that elevates. When choices are made from love, for yourself, for others, for life itself, energy flows without resistance. It does not coerce. It does not manipulate. It simply responds, carrying you toward growth, toward expansion, toward clarity. Try this. Place your hand over your heart, close your eyes, and breathe. Silently state a vow or intention. Feel its vibration ripple outward through your body, through your energy field. Imagine that each thought, each word, each breath becomes a subtle signal that shapes the unseen currents around you. Hold this awareness. Know that in every moment, even the smallest choice, you are crafting your path. And yet, this is not the end. It is a prelude. Every decision, every vow, every deliberate alignment prepares you for the final integration. What comes next is the embodiment of all you have learned. The field responds. You are ready to harmonize fully, to move with the currents, and to inhabit your energy consciously, lovingly, and without fear. Now the journey moves from awareness into practice. The energy that surrounds and animates you is not a distant mystery. It is alive in every breath, every gesture, every thought. The question is not whether it exists, but how you allow it to flow through you, shaping your experience, guiding your choices, and deepening your presence. Begin with breath. Inhale slowly, deliberately, as if drawing energy from the very air around you. Hold it for a moment, feeling its warmth, its vibration, its connection to your inner field. Exhale gently, releasing tension, resistance, or distraction. This simple rhythm awakens awareness and attunes you to the subtle currents of your being. Cayce often emphasized the transformative power of such conscious breathing, not merely as a practice, but as a bridge between body, mind, and soul. Movement, too, becomes sacred. As you stretch, bend, or walk with intention, notice how energy shifts, how tension softens, how clarity emerges. Even small mindful actions carry resonance. Each step, each gesture, each pause is an opportunity to align with the currents that support your highest expression. Journaling adds another layer. Write not only what you experience externally, but how energy manifests internally. Moods, sensations, fleeting thoughts, patterns emerge over time. Repetition reveals guidance. Cayce often recommended reflective recording as a way to trace energetic habits and illuminate unseen influences. With consistency, the record of your daily flow becomes a map, a mirror of alignment, a tool for conscious choice. And remember, perfection is not the goal. Small, consistent adjustments ripple outward. A moment of clarity can shift a day. A gentle breath can soften a relationship. A mindful step can unlock creativity or insight. Energy integrates seamlessly when approached with patience, awareness, and intention. As you practice this living attunement, notice the subtle empowerment it brings. Health becomes more vibrant, relationships more responsive, thoughts more lucid. Life itself begins to move in harmony with your inner field. The sacredness of everyday moments unfolds, revealing that the extraordinary resides within the ordinary, when attention meets presence and intention meets action. And yet, what you have learned so far is only the threshold. There remains a deeper integration, a fullness of embodiment, a merging of awareness and energy, a space where the soul's guidance flows effortlessly through every choice. The next phase awaits, where the journey's culmination brings true embodiment, and the field becomes a living extension of your being. Grief is a quiet current, often unnoticed, yet deeply moving beneath the surface of your daily life. It carries a weight, a pull, and a longing, a connection that persists beyond time and space. And yet, what if you could transform this weight into light? What if the sorrow you carry could become a bridge, a channel, a healing force? Close your eyes. Breathe slowly, deliberately. Feel the rhythm of your heart, the flow of energy through your body. Let yourself imagine a loved one, someone who may no longer be with you or someone near yet burdened by life's challenges. Picture them surrounded by a gentle, luminous energy, radiant yet soft, alive with possibility. This is the light you carry for them, the vibration of your love, the resonance of your intention. Begin to extend this light outward. See it reach them in ways beyond words or touch. Allow it to touch every corner of their being, every joy, every sorrow, every hidden fear. Visualize forgiveness, release, and restoration. Let unspoken words find expression in this luminous flow. Feel the harmony return, not as obligation, but as gift, offered freely without expectation, without judgment. Cayce often spoke of the enduring connections between souls, how love transcends the limitations of the physical plane. The energy you offer does not vanish. It shifts, it heals, it reconnects. Your intention, when sustained, becomes a channel of subtle guidance, a balm to the unseen threads that link hearts. Notice how your own energy responds. The act of giving love, of sending light, uplifts your field as well. The heaviness softens. Compassion deepens. The grief, once a weight, becomes a conduit for insight, for presence, for healing. You are not merely remembering. You are participating in the flow of life, in the continuity of energy, in the restoration of harmony between hearts and souls. Hold this vision for a few moments. Let the light pulse, expand, and ripple, carrying with it understanding, gratitude, and care. Know that your effort matters. Even in silence, even in absence, the energy of love endures. It speaks a language the mind cannot name, yet the soul always recognizes. And as you breathe, feel yourself drawing gently back into the present, carrying the peace of this exchange, the knowledge that connection is never truly broken. The energy is alive, the love is alive. You are alive, and your presence alone radiates light into the world. Now let us turn inward and imagine a path that stretches ahead, not in distance, but in depth. Imagine yourself not as you are in this moment, but as your future self. A self who has learned to navigate energy, who moves through life with awareness, with clarity, with love. Close your eyes gently. Take a deep, intentional breath. Feel the subtle vibration of your body, your heart, your mind. Let the image of your future self emerge, like dawn breaking over a horizon you cannot yet touch but can sense. Notice the posture, the presence, the peace. This self is attuned, grounded, aligned with purpose, and flowing with the currents of life rather than resisting them. See this future self facing challenges, perhaps the same ones you face today, but responding differently. Observe the patience, the compassion, the courage. Witness the choices guided not by fear or habit, but by a conscious understanding of energy, resonance, and intention. Feel the courage it takes to walk such a path, and know that courage is already within you, waiting to awaken. Let yourself imagine this self moving through relationships, through work, through moments of stillness. Sense the clarity, the effortless harmony, the gentle authority that comes from knowing your own energy. This is not a distant dream, it is a potential reality, a blueprint that grows more tangible with every mindful breath, every intentional act, every moment of self-compassion. Reach out mentally to this future self. Ask silently, what guidance do you offer me now? Wait, patiently, for the subtle whispers, the small nudges that emerge from deep within. Perhaps a word, an image, a feeling. Let these insights settle like seeds pressed into fertile soil, ready to grow when nurtured by awareness. Cayce described such glimpses as vital touchstones for the soul, visions of who we might become, reflecting the choices we make today. Journaling, meditative reflection, or even quiet contemplation can help solidify these insights, transforming fleeting visions into practical guidance. Take one more slow, expansive breath, feeling the connection between your present self and this luminous, future version of you. Sense the agency that is yours, the power to choose alignment, the invitation to walk with love at the center of every decision. And as you gently return your awareness to this moment, carry with you the quiet knowledge. You are not defined by what has been, but by what you choose to become. Your energy, your intention, your love, they are the tools of creation. Your future self is already reaching toward you, and you in turn are reaching toward them. And now, you arrive at a place of quiet understanding, a place where the teachings, the glimpses and the visions of your soul converge. Here attunement begins to feel natural, like the gentle sway of a tree in the wind, responsive yet grounded, aware yet free. Notice how energy moves within and around you. Every thought, every intention, every quiet breath has a resonance. This resonance is not abstract, it is alive, a living river flowing through your heart, your mind, your being. When you attune, you begin to feel these currents with clarity. You notice subtle shifts, a thought that brings warmth, a gesture that sparks insight, a glance that carries understanding beyond words. Love becomes your guiding principle, not a fleeting emotion but a force that organizes, harmonizes, and aligns. Through love, energy is mastered without ego. Through love, intuition deepens. Through love, creativity flows without obstruction. And yet this mastery is gentle, patient, unfolding gradually. There is no rush, no sudden leap, only careful attention, mindful presence, and steady practice. Take a moment to breathe deeply. Imagine a warm, luminous light radiating from your heart, expanding outward. With each exhale, let it touch your surroundings, your relationships, your work, your quiet moments of reflection. With each inhale, draw in the subtle vibrations of the world, sensing how they resonate within you, and how you might respond with care, with wisdom, with love. Cayce described such alignment as a natural unfolding of the soul's pattern, a pattern that becomes visible only when you honor the subtle whispers of energy, the quiet signals of guidance, and the gentle nudges of intuition. This is not perfection. It is attunement. It is presence. It is the quiet mastery of living in harmony with the unseen currents of life. Notice the integration within yourself. Thoughts, emotions, and sensations begin to move in rhythm, a dance of coherence and clarity. The world no longer feels chaotic but responsive. Your choices ripple outward, echoing in ways both seen and unseen. You are learning to inhabit energy as a conscious traveler, feeling the interplay of intention, action, and resonance. And as you carry this attunement forward, remember, mastery is not a destination. It is a journey. Each day, each breath, each mindful moment aligns you further with love, with insight, and with the infinite currents that carry the soul forward. And now, as the journey unfolds before you, there is a gentle invitation, a quiet beckoning to step fully into the life of energy that you have been awakening to. You have felt it, the subtle currents within your body, the ripples across your emotions, the whispering signals of guidance all around you. You have seen the mirrors, the invisible helpers, the patterns, the choices. It is time to integrate, to allow your awareness, your attention, and your intention to merge into the graceful flow of living energy. Sense it, breathe with it, direct it with clarity. Harmonize with it, gently and consistently. Let it guide your thoughts, your words, your movements. Observe the smallest shifts. They are never insignificant. Imagine each day as a tapestry woven from these moments of attunement. A glance, a breath, a kind word, a pause in stillness. Each one resonates beyond what you can see, touching lives, uplifting the unseen, creating pathways of light. As Edgar Cayce suggested, the soul's growth is cumulative, nourished by each conscious choice, each love-infused action, each mindful awareness of energy. Now take a breath and envision your hands moving through streams of luminous light. Feel its texture, its warmth, its rhythm. Allow it to remind you, you are not separate from this energy. You are the traveler, the conductor, the observer, and the participant. Your life, your relationships, your world respond to the attention you give. And as you continue on this path, carry this invitation forward. Practice daily, gently, without judgment. Observe subtle shifts, record insights. Share your reflections, your discoveries, your awakenings. Together in this unfolding community, we illuminate the path, not with rigidity, but with curiosity, compassion, and courage. If this journey has touched your heart, consider joining the circle. Subscribe, comment, reflect, and continue walking this path of conscious energy. Let your presence ripple outward, like sunlight over water, like wind over fields, like the quiet radiance of your own soul. And as the horizon stretches before you, remember, energy is alive, and so are you. Step forward, step gently, step fully. Your journey is now and it is eternal.